Welcome back, and today we are continuing the Strangerville mystery. But first, now that Kaylee is in a home of her own, she is going to invite over her girlfriend Sylvia, and they are going to start living together. Unfortunately, Sylvia is still 18, and so I guess that's why the option was not available. But we are going to remedy that. And they just did this on their own. I didn't even, maybe the interaction I told them to do had some woohoo component, but I didn't tell them to go woohoo. So they did do that. But also, unfortunately, Anya has passed away. And that is why Kaylee is sad. Her grandmother has died. And, I'm pretty sad about that too. Anya was the second generation of this legacy. And, it's that's all over now. But in the meantime, we do have the um, neighbors who are actually both of their families, because that is the only people that I have currently living in this neighborhood, have come to visit for a welcome wagon. And I'm thinking to myself, Sylvia's dad just showed up for the neighborhood meet and greet. And it's like, oh, hey, yeah, your daughter is upstairs asleep in my bed. So that was a little awkward. I mean, it would be in real life if Sims had the ability to feel awkward. But for right now, we are just going to bake a cake for Sylvia and age her up here. Of course, there is a current bug where birthday cakes don't always age up your Sims, and honestly, I can't figure out what the conditions are for whether it ages up a Sim or not, but it did not work on Sylvia. So what I did was I added her to the family, and then we tried to move the cake outside, but that also did not work. I wonder if a picnic table doesn't really count as a real table. So there's that. So I couldn't move the cake outside. So what we did was enter in some cheats and change it ourselves. Now, I would have done it the other way if that bug hadn't been, in our way. Unfortunately, it was, so we go into full edit mode and make her a young adult. And actually, this makes her parents really, really young because I forgot to make her parents regular adults when I created this family. And so they were young adults, and now she's a young adult, and it's just, anyway. So she did get randomized as an older young adult than Kaylee, which was a surprise to me. But in the meantime, they are going to take a picture because we have lots of wall space here in this house to put family photos in. So we are going to take some photos of them and put it up on the wall over here and start our collection. As you can remember, Anya's house had a ton of family photos, so that was great. And we're just going to put a white frame to match all of the other white fixins. But yeah, so then we are going to go back to the Strangerville aspiration that Kaylee is working on. I am not going to further their relationship until we have completed the Strangerville mystery. For right now, they're just two girlfriends living with each other. And here she goes. I don't know who that was that just walked through our house, but we are going to pretend that didn't happen. Actually, I think a few Sims just randomly walk right through the house, so there's that. But we are going to get a few more fruits, and then we are going to try and find 3 Sims to vaccinate. And so we vaccinate a Sim, and then we have to become friends with them in order to get them to agree to fight the mother plant with us. So I'm just going kind of quickly through this part because it's repetitive, but we do convince that one sim, and then we are able to vaccinate this other sim, but she totally just walks right away from us. She just walks away, and then I reset Kaylee because she's stuck, but then she's still stuck. And then she has to go to work, and I don't want to have her skip work because that's one of her goals is to get to level 10 of the military career. So I don't want to have her skip work. So we go home and we're with Sylvia, who is cooking on the grill because she is hungry. And I'm thinking Sylvia is going to stay at home. She has a big happy family aspiration. So what we're going to do with her is she's going to write books at home because of course we want money and we want to continue to increase our funds for each legacy house. So we are going to have her do that to make money, but I think other than that she's going to be a stay-at-home mom. And it's actually kind of funny because at some point I hover over her parents and her dad says stay-at-home dad and her mom says stay-at-home mom. So they I don't even know, they don't work and they've got no kids at home either, but they can afford that. More power to them. So I have her take a photo with her dad for the wall, and we take some pictures. And then we go right down to hang them up, right next to her photo with Kaylee. So we are doing that and then selling the rest of the photos. Honestly, I have no idea what that thing in her inventory is. And I don't know if I can get rid of it or not, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So anyway, she is going to now use the bathroom and take a shower before starting her very first book. This is very exciting stuff. And her dad comes up to use the computer, and I'm like, no, no, no. You are not going to use the computer right now because she is going to write a book. So we start with a children's book, which, as you know, is the first and only option for writing when you don't have a writing skill very high. So then we have Kaylee home from work, and she's still very sad over Anya's death, but she doesn't have the sad moodlet, so I can't try to get rid of it. But anyway, Sylvia finishes her book, and we are traveling to Strangerville again. And what I'm going to do is tell that woman that we just vaccinated to come and meet us so that we can convince her to fight the mother plant with us. So we're going to start with that and be increasing our friendship with her in order to get her to do this with us. And then I realized that we can vaccinate people who are not currently possessed. So we call over our almost friend and vaccinate her, and then make her agree to come fight with us. So then the three of them come with Kaylee. And I figured that it would be important for Kaylee to get a few more vaccines created. She can use them to fight the mother plant, and so we are going to stock up on those first before we do any fighting. So first we have to get some of those spores in order to do that. So she is just going to collect 3 plants worth of spores, which is 15. And it's really easy to find spores around this area because it is so close to the mother plant. And then we are going to create some vaccines. And it's actually a little nerve-wracking here because she has to go to work. So, bringing all those people to the lab was not useful in this case, but she has to go to work soon. So I'm just having her finish creating those vaccines before she heads off to work. So we will have to come back to this big fight after she does that. So we are now back with Sylvia, and we work on her book some more. So she goes to do that. And then we do end up inviting over her mother, but that is after she finishes writing her book. So she is going to ignore her father at the door and then publish her book, self publish it, and then invite her mother over. So her mom is here. She's a redheaded woman. And we take some pictures together. And honestly, my intention was to use the portrait frames, but none of them came out good. Two of them had a fingerprint, and the third one had one of those like gnome face things. So we did end up using a landscape, and that's fine. She can have the pictures of her with her parents above and below each other. We'll take some more um, portrait pictures later. But in the meantime, Kaylee is going to go and try and fight the mother plant with her new friends here. So we go there again. And it's actually quite comical trying to get all these people to go where you want them to go. It's like herding cats. So she heads all the way down to the mother plant. And it's quite the walk, but she finally gets there. And we want to get everyone up on that platform together. So there's that. And guess what? Only two of them come. The blonde scientist lady, I think her name's like Gabrielle, right? Yeah. Gabrielle, she just dipped. She left. I'm trying to get them all to come here. I can't find her. She's not here. I mean, seriously, we ask you to come fight a big monster with us, and you just ditch totally. So that was a bummer. I was looking around for her. She's not here. So I was thinking about trying to either fight with just two people or to, um, use the travel button in order to do that again. But you can't go to the same lot that you're already on. And for some reason, I couldn't call her there. So instead, what I did was let all of them walk away and then call them all back and invite each of them to hang out separately. And then have them all go here together. So finally, all three of them are here. And I didn't want to hit fight just yet because you really should wait for them all to get downstairs first because you don't want to be all by yourself. So once they're all on the platform, we select fight and we let everyone get into position. And this plant is angry. Its little wobbly arms are shaking. So I tell them to be careful because if you have enough vaccines, that's really the way to go. So we throw a vaccine and then continue. We do lose one of our Sims on the left there. She is defeated by one of the possessed Sims in a fight. Also, I was looking to save because I remember that you actually can die doing this. And so I just thought to myself, well, really hope that we don't die because then we are out of luck. So we are going to continue to throw vaccines at it until we win. And now Kaylee is the hero of Strangerville. The mother plant is deceased, though of course she can be revived to play this story again. So anyway, we send Kaylee home and think, you know what? Kaylee and Sylvia deserve to have a fun night out. But first, we are going to put out the metal case and this horrendously ugly tendril from the mother plant. But also, I don't know why everything's so blurry. But I just move her medals to the medal case first. But then we are going out on a date because they deserve a fun night out. Also, why was Sylvia sleeping in the downstairs bed? So then I assign bed places to both of them up in the master. I guess I'm really jumping the gun here on the date thing. I guess Kaylee is going to go to work first. Can't believe I forgot that so much happened in between that. Anyway, you are going to have to wait a minute for the date because Kaylee just went to work. And Sylvia is going to eat some leftover salad that is in the fridge. Honestly, I thought she was going to go for the cake. They always go for the cake. But she is going to eat her salad and then go and work on a second book. It's kind of funny because I literally just played this. Like, I played this, I cut the clips, and now I'm doing the voiceover. And I did this, I mean, it had to be like 20 minutes ago. And I can't even remember the order of what happened here. So that's fine. She's going to write her book, and Kaylee is going to be at work. And then she is going to self publish the book because she is not established enough to sell to a publisher yet. But that is fine because she is upping her writing skill and it is going to go well for them. So she is going to sell the book. Also, I like this mailbox, but you have to have walls up for it, which is kind of a bummer because I usually do cutaway walls. But anyway, so she invites Kaylee on a date, and my game does a thing where like several hours go by while we're waiting for this to actually happen. So anyway, we send them to the restaurant and they are getting a table. They're both very playful. That happened while the game was glitching, so that's fine. But they are going to sit down. Honestly, I'm a little regretful of Kaylee's formal wear because I wanted to use a Strangerville outfit, but I mean, next to Sylvia's dress, it looks much less formal. So, but that's fine. This is the restaurant that has some interesting dishes, but first they are going to order some wine. And I can't even tell who's who because the game is slow. But also, I couldn't order them any food, which was kind of a bummer. You can see me click around, and then you don't. What's supposed to happen is it's supposed to pop up like the drinks did, so that I can select a sim to have the meal. But it wasn't doing that. So I ended up just ordering them the drinks. And I did have to have them stop chatting in order for her to actually order something. And then also, it took 5 million years for the waiter to get there. The reason I don't have my Sims go out to eat very often is because it takes forever. I mean, seriously, it's just, you have to be at the restaurant all day. It's, I don't know, the Sims team got to do something about that, but I don't think they're going to. So anyway, finally the waiter comes and we order our drinks. And then they, have a nice date where they flirt and chat and have a good time, really enjoying each other's company. And, Kaylee is telling Sylvia all about her adventures, and they drink their wine. And Sylvia is telling Kaylee about her aspirations to be a writer. And honestly, I'm getting a little nervous because they need 10 social interactions, and the date is coming to a close really fast. But we do end up getting that. And I have no idea how to have them talk about the meal. So maybe there's something on the table or something. I don't know. Anyway, so they get up and they're having such a good time. So Kaylee proposes. she says, I'm done with my aspiration and I'm ready to settle down. And so they propose and say yes. So this is very exciting. They finish their meal, they pay, and then they go over to the bar for a second, but Sylvia is not interested. She wants to go straight home. I should have taken a picture while they were there. Anyway, um, so Sylvia is not interested in sitting at the bar, which is fine. So they become best friends and then head home. And honestly, my game glitched, so they both left, but the loading screen didn't come to take me back to the lot, so I had to manage worlds and then click on them and then click play again. So that is what happened there. They are going to end the night with a woohoo. And I am going to put the flower that they got from getting a silver date up on the dining room table. And next time we will have a wedding. So look out for that, and I will catch you guys then.